right, so let's look at Steve and Thelma's retirement plan, shall we? Steve and Thelma, they live in my home state of Maine, the great state of Maine, the Pine Tree State, vacation land, lobster. All right, so we're going to look in this, and they gave me some good details here. And let's just go to the personal. Well, we'll just share with you. All right, so we're going to go to profile, and Steve and Thelma, not the real names. All right, so they got $15,000 in cash, about $275,000 in investments. Actually, Steve just emailed me as well. So let me pause real quick and see what he said in that email. So anyway, so we got $271,000 in investments, of which Thelma's got $17,000 in an IRA. They have a joint account of a couple American funds, which I'm a big fan of, some MetLife stock, all right, that they each own. And then Steve's got an annuity, about $215 or so, and I'm just using the Vanguard Life Strategy Moderate Growth Fund. Most variable annuities don't give you full access to equities, as they got to mix it about 60-40 is usually the highest they'll go stock to bond ratio. Some will go 70-30. The reason that's because they don't want to be holding the wet bag if we have a market correction or a crash like we've had. Then Thelma's got a small amount in the 401k she's contributing to. All right, so 271,000. That's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. They have a property that they own in the great state of Maine. It's worth about $250. They bought it many moons ago for $119,000. We just always want to say an appreciation of 2%. The home is a dead asset from cash flow perspective. It's not a dead asset, but from cash flow perspective, it is, unless you take a reverse mortgage on it. But essentially what's happening here is they got annual property tax of $2,800 and annual insurance at $828. We want that to increase with the rate of the home appreciation. So even if the home actually doesn't appreciate, most likely your property taxes will. So we want to show an increasing property tax. That makes sense. They do have a mortgage on it. Let's see. They owe about $83,000. I'm not exactly sure how long the term was, but they wanted to pay it off by 2029, if memory serves. And their monthly payment is $898. Again, I'm not sure if that's just principal and insurance or if that includes escrow. I don't know, so I'm just going to throw that in the whole thing. So we might be overestimating their expenses, but it won't be by much. They got a death benefit of Thelma's got some whole life. Whole life, $100,000. She pays $300 a month, a year. Excuse me. About $5,500 cash value, and it'll end when she dies, essentially. So that's good. And then Steve's got term life that will end, I think, in a couple of years from now. So good stuff. Nothing fancy there. Steve is 66 right now. Thelma is 62. All right. Their expenses, their goals, let's put it this way, their goals are, or I should say their income is, Steve is making about $28,000 a year. Thelma's making about $28,000 a year. That's right at the median income range for people. It's funny. Everyone's like, you can't live off $4,000 a month or whatever. Many Americans are, for sure. Steve right now is on Social Security. He took it early, and I think he said I'm not sure if he took it early, but either way, he's on it now, and he said his benefit is $1,870. So he might have just started taking it at full retirement age. I don't know if he took it early or not, but that's what he's getting right now, $1,870. Thelma will take it at her full retirement age and will get $1,106. All right. That's pretty much it in income. All right. So we're going to go to goals. Again, Steve's going to retire in 4 years and Thelma in 4 years too. I keep saying Velma, remember from Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I can't find my glasses, Velma. They think the retirement expenses are going to be $1,715. And we just got that from, they gave me a list of food, utilities, gasoline, and I just calculate pet food. Personal care that is calculated up, and we're going to give them a little bit of buffer here, which we'll share in just a second. Healthcare costs, I'm just using the basic stuff. This is what Steve told me that Thelma will have until she's on Medicare, $3,206, and then we're using $3,000 a year for. Oops, let me put this computer on charge. There we go. And then they're going to have a Part B, Part D, and a Medigap. So we're going to say $1,500 a month on top of Part B and Part D. And that's pretty typical. I guess that's it. Thelma is putting in 25% of her money into her 401k. Steve's got 16%. Did he have that? Let's double check that. No, I don't. Where did I get that from? I don't think we have that. So contributions, let's get rid of that. So I think that's from before. So let's get rid of that. So Steve has got, Thelma's got 25% to her 401k. They were putting money into an IRA, but they're suspending it due to cut back from work hours because of coronavirus. Hopefully, hours will be back to normal when crisis is over. And Steve is putting $1,000 a month into his mutual funds, which we'll show you here in just a second, because I want to show you how that works. But they do tithe at $400 a month. Now they do give the Children's International $35 a month. I'm not sure if that's on with their tithe or if that's on included. So I don't know. So let's just go ahead and include that actually, and we're gonna go to expenses and charitable contributions. Be $435. The drawback is I don't know if that what they plan to do when they retire as well. I'm not sure. So I tell you, let's do this. Let's do it until they retire. I just don't know if they're gonna keep. There we go. It will be 4 years now. Let's do calendar year we'll say 2024. I'm not sure if they're going to keep doing that amount once. I just don't know. So we're gonna say once they retire, they'll reduce it to this. They'll reduce it at that point. I'm not sure if that will continue on, because if they're tithing, your tithing is based on 10% of your gross income. Your gross income is be a whole lot less when they retire. So be that as it may. All right. So now let's just keep going through some of the stuff. Yeah, 25% to Thelma's to her 401k. Okay, they tithe. We won't go into this other stuff. We use basic Medicare, Part B, Part D, supplemental for healthcare. I'm sorry. Steve's on Medicare Advantage, but Thelma, who is not yet 65, is on her company plan, which covers Medicare, medical, dental, and short-term disability. It's $3,206 annually, which we talked about. But then after she retires, she'll go on Medicare. Term life they talked about. Thelma's got a whole life. Okay, that's good. The goals is to they'd like to move from Maine in 2023 and move to a different state. But then they says this is probably out of the question at this point and uncertain, so they're just not sure. So I didn't include that as a goal. I mean, they want to move to a warmer climate, as who can blame them? But they don't know if it's. They just don't know at this stage. They might want to wait till things recover. This is probably out of the question at this point, with uncertain future and a small window to recover. So it sounds like they might not actually. It sounds like they're more inclined probably to shelter in place. But Steve wants to retire at 70, and Thelma when she hits 66, her full retirement age. They want to leave some assets to the kids if at all possible. They like to look at Roth conversions. All right, cool. That's all good. All right, so now let's go back. They think they'll live another 25 years, so we have them both live until 90. Obviously, Lord willing, they say. We talked about the cash accounts. We'll go into all that here in just a second. He has the real estate. We talked about the real estate. Talked about the salary. Steve's working part-time. They got Social Security. I'm drawing my Social Security at this time, says Steve. And Steve says he can get $13.99 from that MetLife annuity. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second. And they have, did I put the loan in here? Hold on a second. I thought I did. Did I put the car loan in here? Yeah, okay. So we got the car loan in there as well. Okay, cool. And payoff date. Yep, good. All right, good. That's all good. So let's look at this right here again. So this MetLife is $214 for Steve. Because the market fell yesterday. It was $219 yesterday. I'm just using this right here as a proxy. So it's $214. It fell 2.5% overnight. Sad. All right. So anyway, but he can get $13.99 a month from that. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Yeah, so let's just say $1,400 a month off that annuity. That's $16,800 a year, and divide that by 214. Probably 5%. Oh, whoa, that's 7.8%. That's interesting, man. 16,880 divided by, let's say 250. That's a smoking deal. So Steve, I tell you, if this number is right, you definitely should take that annuity. So what we're going to do, that's a smoking deal, man. So what we're going to do is we're going to exclude this, and then instead add annuity income. You're not going to make, it won't increase. I read your email about the annuity number. It's not going to increase. So let's just say we're going to exclude that. And instead, we're going to add an income stream here of annuity. We're going to have annuity income annual amount of, what did I say, $1,400 a month. Oops, 1,400 times 12, 16,800 annually. And it'll do that until the end of 100% survivor benefit. We're going to do that until the end of both plans. Yeah, that looks good. And we're not going to have any increase. There's no way you're getting an increase on that for sure. 100%. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's man, you guys might want to be. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's take a look here. What's going to happen? All right, so let's go back to dashboard for look at net worth here. Yeah, good. Okay. So the net worth, you got $57,000 in investments because they're annuitizing that. I don't know if that means they have to annuitize when he's 70. I don't know, but if he's getting folks, their annuity, let's just say at the end of 31 December 2019 is worth $250,000, and they're getting $1,400 a month. We times that by 12, that's $16,800. Divide that by the 250. That is a distribution rate of 6.7% with 100% survivor benefit. That's a smoking deal. If that's correct, that is a smoking deal, and you need to take the annuity without question. Without question. And that's on 250. Now that it's on friggin' 214 is even better. It's just not debatable. All right, so let's see what the retirement looks like here. There's no way they're running out of money, man. Yeah, they got 100%, and let's make this in today's dollars. So 100%, they're not running out of money, and they're going to leave to their kids, of which they have a flock of about more than $750,000, and that doesn't include their home. Let's increase their expender from 1,700. Let's just increase that to 2,000. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see if they want to retire a little bit earlier. Let's say 68, and we're going to have old Thelma and Louise retiring 2 years earlier as well. Yeah, look at that. Now, so let's go into why that is. Go to cash flows. All right, so here's where they're retiring. They got two. Actually, let's have that annuity kick in. Let's have the annuity kick in once they retire. In 2 years, we'll have the annuity kick in when Steve hits 2022. There we go. When they retire. So we're going to say they retire in 2 years if they want. Go to cash flows. All right, so yeah, look, so now they're retiring in 2022. Their annuity, they got income of 40,000. Look where the income flows. The annuity kicks in, and Steve's Social Security, they got 40,000 coming in, and then when Thelma takes Social Security, they'll have 41,000. Where's that other money coming from? They got Thelma getting a spousal benefit. Why would Thelma be? But it's not much of a spousal benefit. Well, I guess that makes sense. And if they're getting it, they're getting it. Let's just. Why would she get spousal benefit? So we got income. Social Security for Thelma is 1,100 at her PIA, and Steve's. I'm just gonna say he took it at 66. Will that change anything? Because that must be saying they're. Let's just see. Hold on a second. I don't think she's gonna get a spousal benefit, my friends. Because remember, spousal benefit's half of what Steve's getting as PIA. I don't think that's gonna be true. Let's go to income flows. Yeah, okay, good. There we go. All right. So Steve is getting the $1,800 and Thelma's gonna get $1,100. So between them, they got 40,000 a year in Social Security. I like that. Then they got annuities, another 16,000 a year. So their annuities 16,000 a year, 40,000 a year Social Security. That's 56,000 a year of income right there, which replaces their salary, man. So I mean, their salary is 53,000 bucks. Well, once they retire, their salary is less than zero, but their income is replaced dollar for dollar by the annuity and Social Security. And then they don't pay any taxes. So that's, I mean, their taxes are so low. I mean, yeah, now Steve dies, Thelma's going to have some tax down here, but that's when she's 90 years old or 87 years old. It's not a big deal. And so if they're going to annuitize, it definitely doesn't make any sense to do Roth conversions. Don't do Roth conversions. No way, no how. What else? Okay, so I want to look at expenses. Housing. Okay, so we got the mortgage principal and mortgage interest, property tax, and HOA, homeowners insurance. That looks good. And that stops right there when they're 2029. So they got 10 years left to pay for that sucker, and then it's gone. All right, that looks good. Let's make sure healthcare kicked in. Yeah, they got, all right, Medicare, 4,000. Yeah, that's perfect, man. Part B, Part D. Let me watch. Part B, Part D. Part B, Part D, Part B, Part D, and other out copays, Medigap, whatnot. It's perfect. What's up, doll? Then you got the life insurance, which will stop when Steve's 73 in 2025. But then Thelma will still have her whole life, which is good. That's good. Don't get rid of that whole life. As long as it's truly a whole life insurance, you got to make sure, Steve, that her is a whole life, not a universal life, because it's a universal life and you're only paying $300 a month. There's no way that policy is going to stay in force. So you got to make sure it's a whole life policy. That's a fact. Let's see here. Yeah, whole life. You say whole life insurance. Make sure it's whole life. If it's cash, it's a universal life. That policy will die. I'm just telling you right now. Make sure it's whole life. If it's whole life, I presume Thelma took it out many years ago. If she only took it out not that long ago, there's no way this policy is staying in force. I'm at $300 a month, a year. No way. Yeah, but $300 a year premium on $100,000 death benefit. She must have took that out when she was like 25 years old or 30 years old. But you better double check that. So remember, living expenses is a proposed plan. I'm giving you $2,000 a month living expenses. You got other expenses right here. What was this again? Tithing. You're tithing. Let's have you keep. We'll even have you keep tithing. I can't make it tithing because I don't know what your income. Well, I guess we'll just use the same amount because you're basically with the annuity is basically have the same amount of income. So let's go to expenses, and we're going to say tithing in both plans. Let's do end of Steve's plan because Thelma we don't want to commit her to that amount because you'll lose some of the income. So we're going to keep that 4,800, 5,000 a year as an outflow of your cash. And that's it still affects, but not badly at all. And we still have you quitting in 2 years. Let's make sure we got Thelma. Yeah, live until 90. So this is a proposed plan. And your expenses are, 57, 58, 58, 60. Look at that. Your inflows are matching your expenses dollar for dollar. And then once you hit here, your expenses at 2029, your expenses drop off a cliff because of the mortgage being paid. And then you have small distributions from the 401k, which Thelma has, and then what's the other one? IRA. You got an IRA. And IRA. Did we? I thought because you stopped doing the IRA. Yeah. So and then you have the IRA RMDs as well. Huh. So let's go back to retirement. Let's just say you spent $3,000 a month. That probably won't work. Yeah. Okay. No, that's not gonna work. Let's do 2,500. Pretty close. Cutting it kind of short, but all right. So you don't want to spend more than 2,500 a month for the rest of your life. I'm just giving you some wiggle. Actually, let's do 2,500, but have you guys stay working until you're 70. It's the next 4 years. 4 years, like you initially said. Yeah, there you go. So if you work for another 4 years and you spend $2,500 a month as opposed to 1,715, remember that's discretionary. That doesn't include your tithing and your mortgage. Or your health care. We already have that accounted for. Let's have you reload. Let's go back to this. Let's just say 2,000 a month. Well, now let's have you relocating. We're gonna go to profile. I think I had goals, right? Yeah, let's go to. I always forget where it was. Net worth. Go to property. Let's see. So we had a property. Oh, primary home. All right, so let's say have you relocating to South Carolina just for simplicity. And South Carolina, we're going to say in 2023. Buy a home. Let's say you purchase a $200,000 home in South Carolina, and you're going to put 20% down, 25% down. All right. And you definitely want a 30-year term. There's no reason to take 15. Doesn't make sense. Property tax will say 1,500. Let's say 2,000. That won't be. And then we'll say insurance is 1,500. All right. We'll say your interest rate is 3.5. Okay. Let's take a look what that looks like. It looks pretty good, man. Yeah, see, the reason is because 95% of your income is stable. It comes from the annuity and Social Security. That's it. Oh, in today's dollars, okay. If you go to future dollars, yeah, there's an annuity. All right. So we go to future. So basically, what's saying is this is adjusted for inflation. Your Social Security is going up by 2.6. Your annuity is staying flat, and then you get a little bit of RMDs, not much. But when your income is stable and your income is more than covering your expenses, there's no risk of running out of money. Let's go to cash flows. In fact, I would even say, yeah, there you go. So here's 2023. You quit working. You sell your home. You get 186,000 out of it. You're gonna get 186,000. You're gonna put $53,000 down because you owe. Let's take a look how much you're gonna owe on that mortgage at that point. We're gonna go to expenses. We're gonna go to housing. Yeah, it doesn't list. Oh, I know we gotta go to accounts, right? No, net worth. There we go. All right, so this when you sell your home right here, you have 218,000 is what you own on it, and you owe no right here 260,000 is what you own, and 58,000 is what you owe. So that net, you're going to net the difference between the two, and then you're going to buy another house for 218,000, and that future dollars, you're going to put 25% down, and you're going to take a mortgage for the rest. Would you be able to afford that mortgage? Yes, you would. Why? Because you have income coming in of uh, $57,000 a year to support a mortgage that's all of, if we go to expenses, right here, $1,000 a month. So 57, you got 5,000 coming in, 1,000 going out. That's a debt to income ratio of 20%. It's well within your wheelhouse. This might be too, by the way, guys. You might want to say, I don't even want to put any money down. In fact, let's do this. See how, I don't know how you can, let's do this. Let's do a profile, and we're going to hit goals, and the relocation, we're going to just put 100% down. I mean, 0% down, excuse me. All right. And the software calculates your mortgage, which is pretty sweet. All right, so let's go to retirement. Where I'm going with this, you could, oh man, yeah, look at that. Because now we got that money growing for you. All right, so here we got, actually, let me go over here, net worth. All right, so here we got a $196,000 home. So we're basically buying it for $200,000. We're going to pay it over the course of, this will appreciate a certain amount. I think we got 3%, something like that. But we're paying down the debt. So basically, we're borrowing $1,000. All right, $1,000 is what we're borrowing. I mean, $1,000 a month is our monthly payment for principal and interest. But we have assets being built here, because we sold the other home in Maine. Right, so we sold the other home in Maine. We're putting that asset over here, if that makes sense. We go to addition to accounts. So we're selling the home in Maine. We're adding to our asset base, and we're not spending it on a mortgage. In fact, what I would suggest is this would be a perfect example where you can do a purchase mortgage, reverse mortgage. You can borrow 50% or whatever it is of the depending on how old you are, of the soon-to-be equity, right, and finance the rest. It's a wonderful thing. I'm not going to model it here, but man, you could literally, this is what I intend on doing. I say, all right, I don't want to leave the house to my kids because I think I can get more growth and more liquidity by investing that money instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a reverse mortgage, purchase mortgage, where I finance 50% of the cost of the mortgage, the cost of the debt, and I do a reverse mortgage to finance the other half, and I don't have to pay anything on the reverse mortgage. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep in that, but that's easily accomplishable. I don't know what to tell you, man. You guys are. I mean, watch this. Watch this tax. Don't do the green is the well, not the green. The purple is the FICA, right? No, the green's the FICA, right? The purple is the state and feds. Where do I got you living? Do I got you living in Maine, or do I have you living in South Carolina? I thought I had you in Maine. Not Tennessee. Let's get you back in Maine. All right, yeah, let's change that. There we go. That should change the tax a little bit. It's like, why are you not paying state income tax? It won't be much. Yeah, I mean, you've got a little bit of a tax. But anyway, you're going to move to South Carolina, and then, so you're paying a little bit of tax here, and then nothing. So, yeah, I mean, this is the widow's tax trap. That sucks, but, I mean, from now until 90 years old, Steve, you're 66 for 24, basically 20 years, you're paying 1% to 2% tax. And you guys are in a good place. Let's see if we quit working. Relocate. Spending $2,000 a month. And that doesn't include healthcare or the mortgage. I mean, you guys are in a good place. And the reason again is because this right here, your income needs are being met for by that annuity. 92% stable. There's no reason you should not do the annuity if it's paying out what they say. If that is truly a $1,400 a month, man, you need to be doing that without question. Let's show you what happens if you don't. Let's get rid of the annuity here. No Roth conversions. Don't even bother. Now let's see if you don't. And instead, we're going to go to net worth. I mean, inherently, it can't be as good simply because the annuity is the amount you can get safely from annuity isn't anywhere close to what the, in terms of just a regular withdrawal from what the annuity is going to pay you guaranteed. It's not even close. It's just not. So let's watch. Not as, I mean, still good, but not nearly as good. This has both you guys retiring 2 years early, still coming up fine. Has still relocated to South Carolina. If you don't retire early, retire 4 years, it comes out fine there too. But watch this. Let's go to income. You only have 71% from stable income, Social Security. The rest is coming from non-guaranteed sources, from your variable annuity and your withdrawals from your portfolio, which is always scarier, man. And right now we're only giving you what this 5.2% rate of return with only 10.8% standard deviation. I would, if your annuity numbers are right, Steve, I'd be freaking annuitizing that 2 seconds flat. So hope this helps. So the rule of thumb, you don't need Roth conversions. You can easily keep relocating to a warmer climate in your wheelhouse. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If the annuity is paying you $1,400 a month, again, probably won't pay you that until you're 70. You've got to annuitize that without question. So if you need to work until you're 70 for that annuity to kick in, you should, without question. I mean, you should. But 70 comes along, 4 years out, you're only working part-time anyway. You said, I'm going to annuitize it, get the $1,600 or $1,400 a month for the rest of my life, which neither me or Thelma can outlive. It's a smoking deal. You can relocate to South Carolina, to Georgia, something like that, without even blinking an eye. You can do a reverse mortgage to use a portion as a down payment as opposed to locking up all your money and equity in the home. Don't do that because you're still got equity in your house in Maine. Hell, you do. As long as you can sell it. Look at your life insurance, man. Keep your term, Steve. Look at that for sure. Make sure Thelma looks to make sure she has whole life. If she doesn't have whole life, it's the universal, and she's only paying $300 a month, I would probably cash that. I cannot tell you what to do. If this were me, I would consider cashing that out because there's no way that policy is going to last. There's just no way. I cannot stress the difference between whole life and universal life here. I guess that's pretty much it. And then, of course, we have you tithing for the rest of your life too here too. Even have you spending even a little bit more money later on down the road if you want. So you're in good shape. I would no reason to do Roth conversions. What else would I want to say here? Just make sure you get your estate planning in order as well. And if you move to a new state, don't use your main estate plan. Go hire somebody down in South Carolina, Georgia, wherever you're moving to drop a new estate plan because the estate plan is contingent on the state you're domiciled in. I cannot stress this enough. So hope this helps. I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the weather up there. Go bees. Stay safe. All right, we'll see you.